Welcome to Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you retire with purpose and live with joy. Find more information, including how to reach the team, in today's show notes. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens, powered by Ricken Financial.
And we are here with retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost alongside licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. Thanks for streaming Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. As Big Voice just said, get all the information. How you can reach out to the team at Ricken Financial. You can find all of it here in the show notes. My name is Mark Owens. We talk about winter weather, and you talk about snow and roll your eyes. I talk about maybe a quarter of inch of ice, and I get all excited. I'm like, it's coming. It's happening.
Well, you know, Mark, I'm glad you're excited about that because we came into the building this morning, and what happened, Heidi?
Well, we had a burst pipe in the building because of the weather. Even though the heat is on overnight, it was so damn cold in St. Louis that a pipe burst.
Oh, no.
And for those of you who don't know, who are tuning in right now, Mark is located in Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's because you don't get it very often.
That's exactly
but
why.
We do get winter weather a lot. And I don't care when or how much, if they ever say ice in our weather forecast, I freak out. And I am not a fan of that. If they said snow, yeah, I'll take it. Ice, hell no.
Right. Well,
Or frame.
Yeah.
Frame, the old freezing rain.
Being born and raised here just north of Atlanta, like growing up here, we'd get a light dusting and the entire town would shut down for 3 days. No milk and bread from here to Chattanooga. Like, it's phenomenal the way that we react to that. We'd have no school. Now, what's funny is I laugh at my daughter. Now we have 2 snow days, but they can do the online learning. So I'm like, well, kid, back in my day, we didn't have to go to school because of weather, but you still got to get your education on. So
I'm so grateful we didn't have online learning when I was a kid. And we actually remember how fun snow days were.
Oh, snow days were a blast. Yeah.
Especially the back of our neighborhood. You go through a little like walkway and you're at my elementary school and a high school, and they had the best sledding hills up at Chaminade.
Chaminade had the best sledding until they redid everything and did a new baseball field and all that. You know,
I was old enough by then. I was in college when they did that, so I wasn't as upset. Yeah. But, you know, it's
those are great sledding hills.
Days.
Great sledding hills.
Right. We would have great sledding mud hills because we would try our best to go sledding down there. Hey, let's spend a couple of minutes here this week kind of peeling back the curtain, if you will, about Ricken Financial, about you, Heidi Ricken Provost, about you, Gerry Ricken, because I think it's important to remind the people, like, your why. What got you into this industry?
Well, you know, Ricken's in the name for a reason. And I chuckled to myself a little bit when you just said helping adults, because you don't have to be an adult for us to help you.
Or you don't have to act like one.
Exactly, because age is just a number. Mm-hmm. And the guy that used to tell me that, and I didn't really fully grasp what that meant till I started getting older. But the man who used to tell me that all the time is probably the greatest human being that I think has ever existed. Well, I mean, there's a couple people in my world that I think are that way, but it's my grandpa, Willie Ricken. And that is why we have the name Ricken Financial here. It's not because we want to boast ourselves and stick our name up on the wall. It's in honor of him and in memory of him and the unbelievable work ethic that he instilled in every single Ricken, and we hope to instill for generations to come. And, you know, my grandpa, my dad's dad, he raised a family of 6 on, you know, meager means.
You mean 6 kids?
6 kids,
of 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
Family of 8.
And by the way, Mom was probably instrumental in that as well.
100%. You know, I've talked about this before, so you can go back and listen to some of our previous episodes. But my only real regret that I ever have had is not sitting down with my grandma Ricken, Grandma Dolores, and figuring out how it is that she managed the day-to-day household finances on the means that they had, because it's unbelievable. But Grandpa was a firefighter and a dairy farmer, and he did a lot of side jobs to keep the household running and to do everything in his power that he could do so that his kids never wanted for anything. And one of the things he did was he sold life insurance. And when you come to our office, the first room that we meet in, that first conference room, you'll see his picture and Grandma's picture on the wall alongside his original contracts that he signed with life insurance companies in the 60s and his policy and both my great-grandpa's life insurance policies that we were lucky to find when we were cleaning out his house after we lost him. And that's our why. Grandpa always told my dad, son, one of the coolest things I did was sell life insurance, because not only did it help us, keep our home and keep the lights on, but more important, it helped families in a time of need. And, that's why we do what we do. It's not because, we want to light the world on fire and make rich people even richer every single day. It's because we want to help people like my grandparents who scrimped and saved and have worked really hard for their retirement and ensure that their family is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And yes, we do sell life insurance.
That's one of our options when you walk through the doors.
But we don't actually sell it. We look at life insurance if it's a need for you and your family, and if you need some for death benefit, we got you covered. If you want some for living benefits, we got you covered.
And the living benefits are actually even more instrumental in what we do, because we can provide tax-free streams of income through life insurance. And people don't really know and understand that aspect of retirement planning, but it's a very, very crucial thing.
So that's the name, Ricken Financial, that's where that came from. But I think we should dive in for why each of us feel like we do what we do.
Yeah.
Mark, as I like to tell people, I'm a recovering accountant. It'll take me a long time in my life to get over that part of my life. But I spent my first 5 years after college in public accounting with the firm of now Ernst & Young. Back then they were Arthur Young before they married Ernst & Winnie and became Ernst & Young. But 5 years in public accounting taught me a lot about accounting, about life, about liberty, about living with people and understanding how businesses work. And I always wanted to actually own my own business. And I didn't take the opportunity until I actually moved to St. Louis to do that. And that was in Kansas City. I spent my first 15 years of my working career in Kansas City. Had 3 kids there, the 3 girls in 3.5 years with Sheila, my bride of, almost 42 years this year. So, but Sheila's from St. Louis. So when your wife is from St. Louis, you typically move to St. Louis. So after spending 15 years there in public accounting and also in the mutual fund processing arena, I worked for the largest processor of mutual funds in Kansas City, where I learned really about the financial industry a lot from the inside and what makes it tick and how things operate on the internally and how they're accounted for. I was doing a lot of accounting work with a lot of programmers and doing all of those kinds of things to account for mutual funds. Then when I moved here, I started tax planning. And when you graduate with an accounting degree, you become your family's unpaid tax preparer. And I've said this, many, many times until your daughter joins you in business and then she actually charges her family.
Accurate. I know my worth.
Atta girl. Well played.
That's right. That's right. So I was always fascinated by taxes, and it was always, what can we do to plan for taxes, not prepare them? Prepare them is a mundane part of life, preparing your income tax return, because you can't do a darn thing about what you did last year, but you can do everything about what is in your future. So I started tax planning, and when I did this, I was doing it for very wealthy individuals who were selling their businesses for multi-millions, and we were saving them in our income taxes in those transactions. And I sat back one day and I reflected and I said, this isn't really what's feeding my soul. And, we preach a lot about feeding your soul in retirement, and why not practice what you preach? So I hung the shingle out at Ricken Financial and started helping people like my parents, like Heidi just mentioned earlier, because what we want to do is take those techniques, especially the tax planning techniques, and implement those for ordinary people to make sure that they understand that they can reduce their taxation in retirement. When we do that, and when we launched out on Ricken Financial, I looked around and I have a lot of friends in the financial planning world. They're brokers, they're money managers, they're all wealth managers, they're all on the investment side. And when you drive around St. Louis, it probably you can skip 2 blocks before you see another Edward Jones on the corner because they're everywhere. And I have a lot of friends.
Like the headquarters are here or something.
And the headquarters, yes. And Ricken Financial, by the way, is smack dab in between the 2 headquarter buildings along 270. So we're very easy to find, just when you go by Edward Jones, blink and you'll see us, and you go by another Edward Jones. But a lot of my friends work for them, and I thought, okay, I can do what they do, or I can do something different. And we decided, okay, the difference we're going to be is we're going to do as well or better than anybody in money management. We're going to make sure people are investing the way they want to invest based on their risk profile. We are going to make sure they have income as long as they have blood pressure. But most importantly, we're going to keep more money in their pocket than anybody else can do, because we're going to show them how to plan for taxation in retirement and make sure that the IRS is not your biggest beneficiary, but your children are.
So fast forward a few years, Dad's rolling, and I have this existential life crisis, move home to St. Louis, change my degree in college, yada, yada. And while I'm in school, he's like, hey, I just need a little help around the office. And I didn't even know what he did for a living, to be honest. And I'm like, fine, I'll help you, but I don't want to work with you.
I'll help you because I love you, but I don't want to do this.
16 years later. Yeah, 16 years later, I'm chatting with you, and I still eat crow every day because I was 100% wrong.
Crow tastes like chicken, by the way.
And now I know fully what it is that my dad does for a living, and I'm honored to be a part of the family fold. And every single day, my why and the reason why I spend probably a little bit too much time here at the office and not enough time at home sometimes is because I love what I do so much that it's hard to even imagine a world where I don't wake up every day and pour everything I can into the prospects and clients that we meet and ensure that they have a plan in place to weather the storm in their retirement.
Yeah.
So, yes, taxes are a big part of that. And I'm a huge tax nerd. And if anyone ever can't sleep at night and they need someone to talk them to sleep, I can talk taxes till I'm blue in the face. But yeah, like Dad said, the least interesting part of taxes is the tax return. I love helping people tax plan for the future. And we do believe in paying our fair share of taxes, but why not take advantage of not paying beyond that?
But, can I just say, you called yourself a tax nerd. Don't ever be ashamed of being a tax nerd, because there's a lot of us that are tax deficient, that don't understand it. So to have someone that is proud to be a tax nerd, I'll take that all day long.
Not only am I proud to be a tax nerd, I also think I can actually talk in plain English about taxes, which is funny because a lot of people can't do that. But the tax code is so complicated, and so many of us don't really understand even the basics, that I want to ensure that everyone we meet with has a full understanding behind the why. And when we implement things, they know why we're going to implement it and are fully transparent on what it's going to cost them and what it's going to look like. And it's an honor to be able to show up every day and not even feel like I'm working, because I love what I do so much that it does. When you love what you do, every day does not feel like work. And our entire philosophy is called the purpose approach. We want to ensure that what you're doing is feeding your purpose and feeding your soul. And I love that, we get to work together and feed our soul and follow our purpose each day of serving everyone who steps through the door of Ricken Financial.
That's right. Gerry, so I've got a two-part question for both y'all as we're kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit of Ricken Financial. Of course, we invite you to get more, and they are an open book. That initial consultation, no cost, no obligation. Even if that first question is just like a first date, just getting to know each other. You don't talk one bit of money, one bit of X's and O's, just get to know each other. There's nothing wrong with asking the questions with the people you're going to work with. Again, you can find all the information, rickenfinancial.com, and the phone number here in the show notes. But as we get to know you a little bit more this week, Gerry Ricken, what is your biggest challenge at Ricken Financial? And two-part question, what's also your biggest joy at Ricken Financial?
I didn't know this was going to be a test.
You better believe it.
I think my biggest challenge is just keeping up with what's happening in the tax code and being able to articulate that, just like Heidi said, in plain language, and help our clients understand what opportunities there are. And in addition to that, just making sure that we are on top of everything so that we can provide the best service for everyone. And we love meeting with people. And one of my biggest challenges is spending too much time with people, because we do love to talk. We love to give you a hug when you walk through, if you're a hugger, and we just chat. Because yesterday I had a family come in, and the four of us actually, it was a mother and two children who all three are clients. And we spent an hour just chatting. Very little business was performed, but that's what we love to do. But that's a big challenge, because then all of a sudden, one of the things you can't get back is time. So I just need to be more cognizant. Then that's probably my biggest challenge. My biggest joy is just helping people with this person by my side, Heidi. Yeah. It's a pleasure to work with her. And that's been my biggest joy in life.
Same question to you, Heidi, Ricken, Provost. Biggest challenge, biggest joy?
I think the biggest challenge is that there's not enough hours in the day. Dad said it too, time is fleeting. And I too wish that, honestly, I wish we could spend all day long just socializing with our clients, because they're not clients, they're family. And
very true. So true.
So that's one of the reasons we're having a little bit more social event this year, so that we have opportunities to socialize more. But that's a huge challenge. My biggest joy is being able to keep my grandpa's memory alive every single day when we're here, and to get to work with my dad. And not many people are that lucky. So I consider myself very lucky, and I'm very grateful that I have this opportunity.
I love that. I can tell you, how long have we known each other now? Going on 3-4 years now? About 4 years?
Something like that.
Probably about 4
years now. And one thing, and I'm not blowing smoke when I say this, but as a father of a daughter, to see the relationship, Gerry, that you have with Heidi, and I get to see both sides. I get to see the business side of Ricken Financial, of Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost, but I also get to see the father-daughter side of that relationship. And it's inspiring to me. And it also gives me hope that I will continue, because we all think at some point our kids are going to turn into teenagers and go to college, and we're going to lose them. And, you want to hang, because I'm right at the age now of she's a teenager. So I'm trying to hold tight, but let her go find her freedom as well. But to see the relationship that you have, it says a lot for what you're doing in the families you serve. And it also says to somebody thinking about calling or working with Ricken Financial, y'all aren't going anywhere. This firm, this group,
you're stuck with us.
That name on the wall, it's going to be here for a minute. It's been here, and it's not going anywhere. So any last words before we hit pause on this week's Kicking with the Rickens podcast?
Yeah, I just got to say, give Caroline a moment, because I will say, not every moment of my life has been glorious, and I was a teenager too one day.
Oh, yeah.
So, even if you feel like you're losing your daughter for a hot minute, she'll come back around. Yeah. Don't you worry.
And as a girl dad of 3, and I also have a son, the girls are a challenge, but they're also a tremendous blessing. So just enjoy every moment, even the challenging moments that are in front of you, Mark. Enjoy every moment and embrace it, because you'll never get those moments back.
It's like we said, and they just said it. When you work with Ricken Financial, you're not just a client. You're not just a number. You become part of the family. And I've been lucky to experience some open houses, some, client events where everyone just gets together and laughs, and everyone's just happy to see each other. So we invite you to begin the conversation. If you're just getting to know Ricken Financial, you're just getting started putting a plan together, or maybe you're just looking for that second opinion, maybe somebody local, you're tired of the big box firm, we invite you to reach out. Again, that initial consultation, no cost, no obligation, from the team at Ricken Financial. Find all that information here in the show notes. Well, Gerry, Heidi, thank you, as always, for the education and the information, and thank you for streaming Kickin' with the Rickens this week. We will be back next week, but before we get out of here, take us home.
Every day is a holiday.
Life is short. Laugh hard.
This has been Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial, LLC. Ricken Financial, LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial, LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.